Hi friends, welcome to QA Scripts and welcome to this new series of videos which are going to talk about how to design frameworks, different kinds of framework such as data driven, keyword driven and hybrid driven creation we're going to show here. Before that, let us try to understand how to choose a framework because most of the people are having a doubt or question that if I want to go for data driven, how I should decide data driven is the framework need to design for this application. If it is a keyword driven, why? If it is a hybrid driven, why? So the selection of framework is a crucial, and that we are going to see today how we can choose a framework for your application. In order to understand how to choose a framework for your application, let us try to see some of the application. By using them, we will arrive a conclusion what kind of framework we can decide. For this, I will use Facebook as one of the application. This is only for example. If you have used Facebook, I think these are the pages will be going through and you will be familiar with. The first page, and also these are the scenarios I would like to automate. Think that you have got manual test cases, and the manual test cases are talking about the following scenarios. What the scenarios manual test cases are talking here are: first, I need to launch the application, place the Facebook URL. After that, login with URL. Email ID. For example, here I would like to log in with the email ID called qascripts25 at gmail.com. After login, what I would like to do is I would like to enter new batch will start from next week text in update status and logout. So this is the one manual test case. Here we would like to test a scenario about update status. Let's see another scenario or test case where before jumping to another scenario, here what actually we have used is we have used username and password as the data. And here is the another set of test case or scenario, that is again login using username and password. This time click on like button or comment button or share button. Let us stick to one button, that is clicking on like and finally coming out, in the sense log out. So these are the two test cases I would like to automate. For this, if you closely observe, the data what I am passing is fixed, that is username and password, but the actions what I am doing or the testing what I am doing after login is going to be different. For example, in the first scenario, I was testing to whether it accepts new batch will start from next week text. Then in the second scenario, I was testing like button. The same test cases can be tested with another user ID password. When you say another user ID password, the flow will remain same, the pages will remain same, and the entire structure will remain same. If you enter say test@gmail.com and if you log in with that, you're not going to see any other objects or elements in the application. As usual, you will see update status, logout, and you can test the same scenario with another set of test data, and you can repeat the same test with a multiple test, but the test data is not going to make your test case changes or flow changes, I can say that, right? So in this case majorly what we are intended to is the test case has to be tested basically how the flow is executing and whether the application is working properly or not functionality wise. So here as soon as you log in, what we are expecting is the page, it should open with the update status, verify whether that update status accepts characters or not, then log out. So this is the one functionality we would like to test. In the second scenario, we would like to test whether like button is working or not. So here more focus is on functionality rather than test case data. So test case data we're using is minimum, but that is not the uh, factor which is going to decide the flow of application. Flow of application remains same irrespective of your test data. So here what we'll do, instead of concentrating on test data, we will concentrate on functionality, where we'll take this manual test case, then we'll start building keywords for each and every actions. When I say actions, one action is like entering the email ID, password, then other action such as clicking on update status and logout. So these are the actions I would like to take and automate. For this, what I will do, I will create some keywords and I will pass them in the Excel sheet. Let me show that. So here is the Excel sheet what I would like to do. The first test step, I'll say verify username present, because before I enter username I would like to verify. For that I will create a keyword called verify element. Please remember this keyword is a function we are going to create using Selenium and core Java. As of now I'm just giving overall concept. So verify element is a one function we need to create. We need to create another method called enter value as well as click and edit text. So these are all different methods, but those methods we're going to call here with the name as a keyword. So based upon the keyword, your application is going to execute using Selenium tool. So if you say verify element and if you pass the locator of that element, first it will verify whether it's present or not and whether it's enabled or disabled. After that I am calling one more keyword to enter email ID, because as per our flow I need to enter email ID after verification, right? So here I have given enter value as a keyword and test data I am passing is QA test 25@gmail.com. Next step, again I need to verify password. So I am calling verify element. I am going to pass locator, and to verify I don't need any data, so I have left it blank. And next step is I'm going to enter value into the password field. So I am passing required things like keyword, locator and test data. So here we'll be passing the keywords according to the sequence of my application or test case. So the sequence of keywords are going to drive your test. If you say verify element, it will verify first this element. If you say edit text at the top, then what happens? It will try to edit the text here only. But since the application is not open the particular page like update status, hence it will fail. So what actually I want to say is, based upon your test case flow, we'll create the keywords and we'll call them in the sequence in Excel sheet. So if you call a verify element first, it will verify. If you say click, then it will click on a particular element. So based upon these keywords, the test is going to drive. So these test keywords, what we are going to form and arrange, they are the driving force of your test. Hence we can say that for this kind of application where we need functionality to be tested with a minimum test data, or the functionality to be tested with the test data which is not going to be a deciding factor, at that instance or at that case we can go for creating the keywords and calling them according to the flow. So where keyword are going to matter, and that kind of framework we are going to call as keyword driven framework. If the application, if your application is like the application what I'm showing, where uh, test data is minimum, whereas functionality has to be tested with a various combinations like verifying, clicking, then go for keyword driven. Then question comes, how to go for data driven. For that, I'll take one more example, that is bookmyshow.com. If you know bookmyshow.com application, as soon as you open bookmyshow.com, it will ask to select the city. What I'll do as a first scenario, I'll select Bangalore. After selecting Bangalore, what happens? It will display the page where you can select movie name as well as time. So here are the steps. First select the city, then select the movie, then select the time. Let's say this is the one test case, one manual test case what you have to book a ticket. Let me show how actually it will work if I select city as Mumbai. So here I'll select Mumbai in the second test case. As soon as you select Mumbai, as usual, the structure remains same, the flow remains same. Hence, movie name will be displayed out here. As usual, time also, date also will be displayed. But if you closely observe these two flow, in the first flow, when I select Bangalore, I'll be getting the movies which are getting screened in Bangalore, such as Kannada, Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and date as well as time going to differ when it comes to Mumbai. When you select Mumbai as a city, here Kannada section is not there. It starts from Hindi, because in Mumbai you'll not be able to see Kannada or Telugu movies are getting screened. Hence, it is going to start with Hindi. So here the data what you are selecting, test data what you are selecting, based upon that next flow is going to decide, or next data is going to display. The flow will remain same. The flow is very simple: select a city, select a movie, select a data, then select the tickets, then go for uh, purchasing it. That flow is same, but based upon your data, some test data is going to change in the next screens. If you say Bangalore, the drop down of movie will have Kannada, Telugu, Hindi. If you select Mumbai, the drop down of movies will have Hindi, so and so. Again, the movie names are going to change based upon the city. So here, deciding factor is test data. If you select one test data, then another test data is going to display, and it depends upon the previous selection, previous test data selection. So here if you again select Pune, the movie's name may change. If you select Chennai, again movie's name may change, time may change, everything is going to change. But the flow will remain same. Test data is going to change based upon the previous selection. So in this case, we cannot say, hey, I will form the keyword like enter city, then select the movie, then select the date. You can form these keywords, and if you pass it, that will work for one test data such as Bangalore. If you want to execute for another test data like Mumbai, there are chance of changing. Let me show that with test data how I have formed and how we can make the script and framework. So again I will go back, and here I have one more section called data driven. So here what I have done, I have created two rows of test data. So city I want to select, movies date today, and theater I will select as PVR, and class as gold, tickets as 2, and let's say price is 350 for the 2. When you select gold, you may not get to select the snacks, but if you execute the same test with the Mumbai and selecting class as premium, then there is a chance of it will ask to select the snack whether you want to go for veg or non-veg. This veg or non-veg snack will appear based upon the class you selected in the previous section. So the data is going to determine the flow of your application. So here if you say you want to go for keyword, then it will be difficult. You cannot automate these things. Here the flow will remain same, but the data is going to drive your flow. So by selecting one option, you may get another option or test data. So in this kind of application, in this kind of test cases, what you can go, we can go for data driven framework, because here the data is going to drive your test. First test data is going to test only the test data which is related to Bangalore, and second set of test data is going to test the flow which is related to Mumbai. The flow is again same, but based upon the data, it's going to uh, change the next selection. So if your application and test cases are dependent on test data, then go for data driven, because in this case data is going to drive your test based upon number of rows of uh, test data you are going to pass from Excel sheet. Those many times that data is going to iterate. Not only that, based upon the data you are passing from Excel sheet, on that the selection as well as taking the test data from application is going to happen. So test data is going to decide what has to be come in the next, and so on. So if application as well as test cases are talking about passing more test data, then go for data driven. If application and test cases are talking about minimum test data but maximum coverage, then go for keyword driven. In some cases, some test cases and application talks about both, like they want to pass test test data as well as they want to verify the functionality as well. Means it's a combination. In that case you can go for hybrid driven. The hybrid driven is nothing but this is a framework. It's a combination of keyword and data driven, what I have explained. So at that time you can go for hybrid. So this is a way you can choose what framework you would like to go for your application based upon these criteria. These are the 2 3 criteria, but there are some other criteria like what kind of tools you want to go for, what is the environment, so on so. But these are the main factors you can take into consideration while choosing the framework for your application. Thank you for watching this video. We'll be having a series of videos from here onwards, which are going to talk about how to design the framework. Please stay tuned and watch other videos as well. Thank you.